Please listen carefully to this brief message. You are about to enter a telemedicine consultation. You will tell us the state in which you are currently located, and your physician will be licensed in the state where you are located. There are some limitations to telemedicine consultations compared to an in-person evaluation. If you or the physician feel at any time that this virtual visit is not adequate for your evaluation, either of you may request to discontinue the consultation, and their medical staff will assist you in getting an in-person evaluation. For your protection, all consultations are recorded and protected in compliance with applicable federal and state law. This information is stored and may be shared with other healthcare personnel to assist in your care, as well as your insurance carrier and/or employer for billing purposes. If at any time you have questions about the risks, benefits, or limitations of telemedicine, you can request additional clarification from the physician. By continuing, you are providing informed consent to this consultation and treatment. Please stay on the line, and the medical assistant and your physician will be right with you.
Miss Veronica?
Yes, ma'am.
I have Dr. McBride on the line for you. Go ahead, doctor.
Hey, Veronica, this is J.P. McBride, one of the ER docs for MedCall.
Hey, how are you?
I am good, but it doesn't sound like you are good. Tell me, you're experiencing pain after the package fell off and you grabbed it?
No, I was unloading logs on like bologna logs off a rack. And I don't know if when I bent down to pick it up I picked it up the wrong way or what. Well, I caught a sharp pain in my shoulder that runs all the way down to my fingertips, and now my fingertips are like tingling real bad, and my shoulder hurt real bad. I'm kind of thinking that maybe I pinched a nerve or I pulled a nerve.
Okay, so tell me, have you ever had this before?
No, sir. I never experienced nothing like this, not in my arm.
Okay, and what exact fingertips are tingling? All of them?
Yes, sir.
Interesting. And what about your neck? Do you have any neck pain?
Yes, sir. Like at the top of my neck, like from that starts where my shoulder blade is.
Mhm.
It's like right here, like it hurts real bad. Like on the side.
So, it's possible you could have pinched a nerve, as you say.
That's what I kind of feel like that's what it is, because I have had a pinched nerve in my hip, and I'm kind of like feeling the same kind of pain, but this pain right here is kind of like a little more extensive.
Interesting. And you've never had like a disc herniation in your neck or anything, have you?
No, sir. Not as I know of. No, sir.
That you know of, right. And when you turn your head from side to side, does that make it better, make it worse, or not effective?
Not when I turn my head to the right side. But when I turn my head to the left side, I don't feel anything. But when I turn my head to the right side, it kind of like it's not a bad pain, but it's like a little tingling pain.
When you turn your head to the right, does it make the pain go down the right arm?
Yes, sir.
And your symptoms are on your right shoulder, right arm, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it's hard to say, Veronica, without examining you, but it could be a little nerve pinched, or it could just be a strain. It's hard to say. Normally, people who have a disc problem in their neck have a history of that as well. And it doesn't sound like you really have a history of a disc
no,
issue.
Sir, I don't have a history of it.
Right. So this is what I would recommend. I'd recommend you just take some Advil or Aleve or ibuprofen or whatever it is you like to take when you got a strain or anything. And I would say let's see what this does. And if it does not go away, you may need to see like one of the spine neck doctors, because, I mean, it is possible you've kind of irritated a nerve that comes out of your neck that goes to your right arm there.
And that's what I was gonna go to the emergency room and let them do an exam on my right side of my shoulder and my arm and my hand and stuff, just to make sure that I haven't like pull no nerve, or I don't
Well,
have acute coronation or anything like that.
The only test to look for a nerve is what's called an MRI, and they usually would not do that in the ER. That's a test that needs to be scheduled because it's not an emergency test. You know what I'm saying? So they could do X-rays, but X-rays just show the bones of your neck, and that wouldn't show any nerve problem. And then the other thing would be your shoulder exam. They could certainly examine you and tell you, well, maybe they feel like it's more of a shoulder problem instead of a nerve problem. But ultimately, they're going to just tell you you're going to need follow-up with either orthopedic neck or orthopedic shoulder. But it's unlikely they would be able to do an MRI, you know, emergently in the ER because it's not really needed.
Okay.
And you got to get approval and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Doctor,
can I ask you what the dosage would be if she took ibuprofen or Tylenol?
Yes, ibuprofen would be like 600 milligrams, so 3 of the 200 milligram tablets, and you could take that every 8 hours and just kind of see what this does. If it doesn't go away, you're going to need to see a neck or orthopedic doctor to get perhaps a further exam, perhaps an MRI.
How many days should she wait? If not better, in how many days?
Right, Victoria, this just started when you caught the package today.
Yes, sir.
And you have not had any problems with your neck or anything.
No,
so
sir.
I would say you give it a couple of days, because if it goes away, then you don't need to see anybody and follow up. You don't need an MRI or anything like that. And if it doesn't go away, then I would say in 2 or 3 days you're going to need to see somebody and follow up.
Okay.
So it could just be like a muscle strain, and the tingling is just kind of because you injured it. And usually muscle strains get better. So if you're not better, today is Tuesday, if you're not better by, say, Thursday, Friday, then you're going to need to see somebody in follow-up. And we can write down all the details of what happened, and so it'll be on the record. But it just seems to me that the ER, they may do X-rays of your neck or an X-rays of your shoulder, but they'll just tell you exactly what I'm telling you, which is follow up with the orthopedic or the neck doctor.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, are you at work right now?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Do you feel like you can continue to work your shift today?
No, sir.
Okay. And what are our restrictions about telling her?
We can give her the rest of the day off.
Okay. Well, let's definitely do that. And I want you to get some of that Advil or ibuprofen in you, 600 milligrams.
Okay.
And we'll give you the rest of the day off, and then we'll have to, just see how you do. If it's not better, are you working again tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
So if you wake up tomorrow and it's better, then great. If you wake up and you feel like you can't, do your job, then you're going to have to probably speak to your employer's, workman comp people to get further restrictions and or arrange follow-up with the orthopedic neck or shoulder doctor.
Okay. So the requirement, doctor, is if she's not better, she wants to be seen needs to be seen in person, she would call us back so that we can send her to an appropriate place.
Right, but we don't have referrals to specific orthopedic doctors.
No, she would have to start with urgent care.
Oh, I see.
That's the requirement for workers' comp.
For her company?
Mm-hmm. For most companies, yeah.
Okay. So, Victoria, why don't we do this? Why don't you give the rest of the day off? Why don't we tell you to get some of the ibuprofen or Advil in you and see what it's like in the morning. And if you are not better in the morning, or you feel like you can't do your job, you're going to have to call us back. And at that point, if you need further work restrictions, it sounds like we're going to have to refer you to urgent care. But
Correct.
I can just tell you that urgent care is not going to be able to do much more than what I'm done.
They'll be able to order her MRI, but they won't be able to do it for, they'll schedule it.
If you needed it, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Okay. How does that sound, Victoria?
That sounds like a plan.
Okay. And then let's just hope you with a little bit of rest tonight and everything gets better.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What else?
What are you going to do what's the diagnosis?
Just put left shoulder and arm pain. Put cannot rule out radiculopathy, RADICULOPATHY.
Mm-hmm.
And just put the plan would be to give us a call back in the morning to see if she can't work. We'll have to refer her to the urgent
Perfect.
care.
Got it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, doctor. Thank you so much. Veronica, stay on the line. Don't hang up.
Veronica,
Dr.
thanks. I hope you're
so
feeling
much.
better.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
doctor. Have a great night.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So, Miss Veronica, we're going to give you the rest of the day off. Take ibuprofen, 600 milligrams, every 8 hours. If you let that build up in your system, it will help more than if you just take it once in a while. Like the doctor said, if you have any kind of stomach issues, make sure you take it with food. Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and you don't feel like you're going to be able to do your job, if you're hurting more than you are, if you're not feeling better, call us back. And then what we'll do is we'll reevaluate with a doctor and decide whether you need to be seen in person or not. Now, I do have a few more questions for you. You are full-time. Do you work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day? And are you paid weekly, biweekly, or monthly? What is your pay rate per hour? $12. Does your company offer safeguards, safety equipment, and safety training to its employees? What time did you begin your shift today?
4 o'clock.
In the morning?
This afternoon.
4 o'clock this afternoon, okay. What time did you notified your employer right away?
I notified my employer right away.
Yeah, because, you guys called me within 5 minutes, so. Will you be paid full wages for today, day of injury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what is the name of your employer? Your representative that I was just speaking to is Jerry. Is it Jerry?
That's correct.
Spell the last name one more time. Perfect. And what's the best number to put on file for you, sir? Do you have an email, sir, that we can put online or that we can put? All right, perfect. Let me give you this report number. What will happen is I will send this in. It will be looked over by an adjuster will be assigned, a claim number will be generated, and they will be contacting you within 24 to 48 hours. Your report for today, the report number is I as in Igloo, N as in Nancy, W as in Whiskey, C as in Charlie, 0033697.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
My name is Sherry. It's Cheri. And I am a intake specialist here at MedCall.
Okay, great. Just I know who was supposed to and everything. Okay, Sherry, what did you guys determine? Is she going to go to the doctor or?
So this is what's going to happen. She is going to take some Motrin. She's going to take the rest of the day off, the rest of today.
Yeah.
And get some Motrin in her system, get some rest, ice it, whatever feels better. And then if not better in the morning, she's going to call us back. We're going to get on the line with the doctor again and reevaluate if she's not better, and then find somewhere for her to be seen. But as of right now, I'm sorry?
No, I said if it's okay with you guys, and Veronica, can you come up here and make the phone call? That way if we do decide to send you somewhere, I can go ahead and call and get you an appointment. If that's okay with you also.
I mean, that part of it, where she calls from, is completely up to you and her. That way, you know, if you want to help her and work together to make sure that she's getting everything she needs, I think that's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll take care of her for sure. All right.
All right. All right, Miss Veronica, do you have any other questions for me?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Get some rest. Feel better, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. You're very welcome. Goodbye, sir.